Alright guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video, and in this one, it is time to go over some update news. That is right guys, we have got a bunch to talk about, been looking around trying to find some stuff for you, and we have a bunch of interesting things to go over. We're going to be discussing stuff like the Driftboard, if and when it might be coming back soon. We're also going to be going over this secret change to Polar Peak that just showed up, which is kind of like a little cave, sort of. You'll see what I mean when we go over it, and we'll also cover how Save the World has been given for free to certain players, as well as a bunch of update news and things like that. So it's going to be a very fun video. Going to be covering a ton of the news for you guys, so you're fully up to date. But yeah guys, if you enjoyed today's video or find it helpful, be sure to hit that like button down below. Always helps me out a ton. And also comment down below which skin are you guys using right now, because there has been a ton of holiday skins to come out. For me, I'm still using Merry Marauder and Merry Munchkin because it's just such a fun combo, but I'm curious to see what you guys are using. And also thanks to all of you who have been using my supporter creator code TheLlamaSir in the item shop. Seriously does help out a ton, and I appreciate all of you who have been doing so. But yeah guys, getting into it with the first thing I want to go over, let's just jump into it with a fun one. This one is really cool because it has to do with a change to Polar Peak, and a change that we haven't really seen before, and it's very, very interesting because things are still happening with Polar Peak, and I'm excited to see what exactly it is building towards. I feel like this is going to have to do with the season story because a bunch of stuff has been happening, so I'm excited to see where it goes. But yeah, this has been a sort of a new clue that's been found, and as you guys know, Polar Peak has been melting a bit, revealing more of the castle. Well, actually, just recently, if you go to the, I believe the back of the castle, sort of on the edge of the iceberg, this hill or mountain, whatever you want to call it, if you go over there, as you can see, there is this sort of cave in the side of the iceberg now. And also thanks to Mayru's on Reddit for pointing this out, but this is for sure pretty interesting. It's very shallow, you cannot go very far into it as of right now. I'm assuming it's going to, you know, lead you into more of the castle itself, but it's definitely very interesting that this suddenly showed up. Again, there's been so many changes to Polar Peak, so this has to do something with the story. I just have a feeling about it. And again, I do think this area will get larger and we'll actually be able to walk into it, because if you take a look, you can see water dripping from like the archways, which to me means that the ice is melting, and we've already seen the ice melt a bunch, revealing more stuff. So I do think we'll get to see more of this soon. And actually, I just went back and checked, and if you go down the staircase, that's it's a little bit hard to find. You go through the entrance, wrap around a few of the doors and go down. You'll find this staircase behind a door that keeps going down, and originally this just led to nowhere. It led to a dead end, but now all of a sudden you can see two chests, one on the left and one on the right here. So there seems to be an entire room here that's going to maybe be revealed over the coming days. Not 100% sure, but I mean, if there's chests down here, it definitely seems like there's going to be more added. But after that, we also have to talk about like when the next update is supposedly going to happen. And before we get into that, let's real quick go over how certain players are being given Save the World for free, or maybe even free V-Bucks. And some of you might fall into this category. It's only for certain players, which right here I will go over some of the info that was given to us about this. But according to a post on Reddit made by Epic Boomer, who works at Epic Games, there was some confusion over the Xbox One S Fortnite bundle, but it was a little bit confusing because apparently it came with like a card, a redemption card that also said it had the full game, but it really only came with Battle Royale and not Save the World. At least that's what I heard from like Reddit posts. Again, I'm not an expert on it, and you can read up on this post yourself on the Fortnite Reddit. So that's the very basics of it, but basically Epic Boomer responded to a post that was made about this and said that we agree that the messaging on the Xbox One S Fortnite bundle was unclear, and so we will be granting free access to Save the World for those who purchased the bundle. So yeah guys, that's definitely pretty cool. They made this response pretty quick, and it's cool to see them do something like that. But then he also goes on to say that if you already had purchased Save the World and claimed the Eon bundle, we will be granting you an additional 2,000 V-Bucks. So yeah guys, that's pretty nice for those players that happen to fall into that category. But yeah, and then I'll also add, they also say this update as of 12/27. We'll begin the process of granting retroactive entitlements early next week when our offices reopen for the new year. We will provide an additional update on the progress of the grants around that time. So I guess it's just something to stay tuned with. But I guess if you're playing on PC, I guess this doesn't really pertain to you. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, but let's keep it going here with the likely date for like the next update, because oddly enough, I'm not sure if we're going to be getting a Tuesday update. As I talked about in my previous update video, according to comments by one of the Epic Games employees, it seems that 7.20 is in the works and will probably be coming soon. We just don't know the exact date of it. But I happened to spot a tweet from Mr. Popo TFS, who again is the community coordinator at Epic Games according to his Twitter bio, but he had replied to somebody who asked when the next update is going to be, so very straightforward, and said Sunday, which is very interesting to me. He said this on December 26th, and as you guys know, we got a content update the Sunday before that, which was on the 23rd of December. So that begs the question, are we going to be getting another content update this Sunday, and then maybe a full update on Tuesday? It's definitely a little bit confusing. It seems that we are, you know, a bit off track when it comes to updates with the holidays and all of that. So it's definitely possible that it could just be a content update and we might get a new item like with the previous one where we got this item right here. And again, if it does happen to be a content update on Sunday, those do tend to be smaller and they only add like a couple of things here and there. But hey, it's still something new, still could definitely be pretty cool. And then we'll have to wait and see if we get a full update or something on Tuesday. Not 100% sure if that's going to happen. Definitely going to have to wait and see what Epic Games says. But keeping it going here with the next thing I want to cover, this one actually has to do with a skin, and it's sort of update news, sort of just like I want to go over my opinion on it because there's been a rumor that maybe Aerial Assault Trooper might come back, but personally I don't really think that rumor is true. Now basically the way that this rumor started is that when Ground Game, one of the new limited time modes, I didn't get to play it personally, but apparently it had like really limited materials and ammo and stuff like that, but that game mode was on the 27th, so it's already out of the rotation. But apparently like in the picture for that, it was pretty interesting because the skin Aerial Assault Trooper was in that picture. That's right guys, and as you may or may not know, Aerial Assault Trooper was, I believe, a season 1 skin that was in like this weird form of the shop / season shop. It was definitely pretty odd because as you may remember, you actually had to rank up before even having the opportunity to purchase this skin, which I believe was 1200 V-Bucks. But yeah, with this skin being added into like a screen, even if it was for a limited time mode, you know, it makes you think, are they going to bring back this skin? But personally, I do not think they're going to do so. If you guys remember way back when, like months ago, they did something similar. I think it was just like a promotional image that was posted on Twitter with like a bunch of characters, but Renegade Raider was in the back, which was in like the same sort of season 1 shop as the Aerial Assault Trooper, but she was like in the back of it, and we thought, does this mean that she's going to be coming back into the shop? Well, she never did, so it does seem like this is just, you know, using the character just because, and I really don't think they would bring back these skins because you did have to rank up, and it was technically a season skin. So yeah, either way, it's still a fun thing to talk about, but let's keep it going here with some news of a first that just happened in Fortnite recently. You may have heard about this, but Ninja is the first player ever to get 5,000 wins in Fortnite, which is definitely pretty crazy. Whether or not you're a fan of Ninja, that's pretty cool to see somebody get 5,000 wins in the game, and like you can check his stats. He definitely has 5,000 wins, which is an absolute ton of wins. I'm not even close to that, but granted, he does play a lot more than me and a lot more than most players out there, but yeah. And apparently he's getting close to 100,000 eliminations as well, which is crazy to me. So yeah, gotta keep grinding, gotta try to catch up, or maybe not. That's probably impossible at this rate. But yeah guys, after that, let's talk about the Driftboard, okay? Because I feel like the Driftboard will be coming back soon, and we definitely have to talk about this one. So first of all, I do want to say that we haven't gotten like any official information about the Driftboard coming back, but I definitely think we can speculate about different things because, you know, it's even a possibility that it could come back this Sunday. That's just a guess though, take it with a grain of salt, but I mean, it would make sense, right? If Sunday does turn out to be a content update, adding this in would make sense. But if you're watching this video and it's after Sunday and the Driftboard isn't in the game, then yeah, it's probably going to be coming at a later date, but they did say that it was just delayed, not that it was like vaulted or anything, so it should be coming out eventually. But yeah, something that makes me think that it will be coming back soon is actually if you take a look at the week 4 loading screen, and also if you need the guide for the week 4 challenges and stuff like that, there will be a card at the end of this video to my guide for that stuff. But yeah, for the loading screen that you unlock, you can see the Driftboard in that loading screen. So yeah, this was probably made a while ago when they were planning to do the Driftboard, but still, I mean, it's got to be coming out soon. And also, let's go back real quick to like when they announced the Driftboard, and then soon after they announced that they were delaying the release of it to focus on some different things, because now that I'm looking at it again, it's a little bit confusing. I'm not sure if they meant that they were trying to focus on things with the Driftboard or overall update things. So like, I'll go back to what Mr. Popo TFS said for the announcement of the delay for the Driftboard, because he says, we've decided to hold the release of this new vehicle to make some final quality of life changes and other polish improvements. Is he talking about those quality of life changes and polish improvements being made to the Driftboard or just overall? Because when I think of like quality of life changes, I mean, I usually think of things that are added into the game in general. I don't know if that would really make sense for the Driftboard. But he did also go on to say, however, our goal is to make sure that your experiences on the Driftboard are up to our expectations. So maybe he was talking about the Driftboard when he said quality of life changes and other polish improvements. It's hard to say, but that announcement was made like 11 or 12 days ago from when I'm recording / putting up this video, so I just feel like it's bound to come out soon. I don't know how long it would take to fix those things, but then again, you also have to think about how the holidays came around, which apparently throws off the schedule of everything. But still, I just feel like this one will come out soon. And it also reminds me of the jetpack. When that item was announced, something sort of similar happened. I can't quite remember. That was a very long time ago, but I do remember it was similar to this, and that item did eventually come out. So yeah, let's hope that the Driftboard comes out soon, because I do want to try it out. Keeping it going here with another thing I want to go over. I want to revisit like the possible end date for 14 days of Fortnite. They haven't been super clear about when this event is going to end and how long you'll have to complete the challenges and unlock items. So I wanted to touch on that a little bit about a possible end date, judging from what the game says is like days remaining for it. Because if you remember, in a previous update video, we talked about how Spazinski, who is an Epic employee, made a comment on Reddit about the challenges and stuff, and he did say IIRC, they expire on either the 3rd or 4th of January. And again, IIRC means, if I recall correctly, so we did know to take that with a grain of salt. It may not be accurate, but if you look in game and take a look at the challenges, the day I'm posting this video, it says 3 days remaining, and we are on the 11th challenge, I believe. There are 3 left, and since it says 3 days remaining, but if that countdown keeps going down, that would mean that it may end on like January 2nd, or like the transition between the 1st and 2nd. It's a little bit confusing when it comes to dates, to be honest, but I mean, that doesn't really leave a ton of time to complete that last day. So yeah, I just want to bring up that it's still up in the air when this may end. But yeah, if you guys want to be on the safe side, maybe just get all of your challenges completed on the last day of the last challenge, if you want to be on the safe side. And who knows, maybe we will get a few days to complete those challenges after the New Year's. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to subscribe for more update news videos coming out in the near future. On top of that, guys, be sure to check out some of my previous videos here, such as on the left, my week 4 challenges guide, and then on the right, going through a bunch of clues about the story for this season. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.